There's no arm. Where's the arm, Cesar? Show that twisty. That twisted twister. No arm? Are we live? I think we're live. There it is.
Yay.
Hey. New Wednesday, same podcast.
Oh.
It's Bruno Hagen because this is our building because there's no building without us
Stream teaming. I don't know anymore.
It's okay.
The words have all gotten jumbled up.
It's a new week, new episode though.
It is, yeah.
Pretty exciting. I don't know if you noticed the new equipment that we have.
I do. I'm staring at all of it.
No, I mean, I was talking about your Apple Watch. Welcome to the Apple family.
Oh, thanks.
This is not sponsored. But apart from that, we also have new cameras, new soundboards, new cables. So
we're making our own cables.
we're making it. That's right. Oh,
And James Donald Holmes is so fired up
Hyped.
about it.
so
I think I don't want to spoil your later update, so I won't mention it. But he's very fired up about his cables. But yes, plenty of new equipment. It's very exciting.
So hopefully you guys on the other side of the screen can hear us perfectly and see us even better.
Yes, right down to the pores.
Yeah, the pores and the lack of sunscreen.
Hmm.
But how are you, Hagen?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great. Did you catch the MLB All-Star game last night?
Oh, dude, yeah, Lakers, hold it way,
Oh
baby.
yeah, wrong sport, but yeah. Apparently the National League won for the first time since 2012. So the American League. Now I don't know which teams are
I'll say
within
what
each
team.
league,
Hmm.
but
You
and
have
I
to
didn't
take
watch it
you
either.
need to
So.
take a guess. What team?
I mean, it's all stars from multiple teams. I know the Rangers and Astros are on separate leagues. Is that right? I'm getting no confirmation, so that's great. But yeah,
Nice.
that happened recently
What else has happened in your life, Hagen?
in my life.
Well, more your work related. I don't.
Oh, in
we have time
R&D's
to
world?
dive into that soap opera.
I know there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, with Prime Day, there's just so many things to buy and so much money to lose. But in R&D, we have the AI Power Construction Challenge. Voting is
Ooh.
out.
It's out.
It's out as of yesterday, so make sure you got your votes in. You should have gotten an email from RO Communications. Remember, you gotta read those.
You gotta.
Gotta. So check it out. Make sure you do some voting. You can see all the ideas there on your left. It's just like for the Hilti Robotics Challenge. So if you voted then, it's almost the exact same. But you can go to the Innovation Station, check out all the different ideas, see their descriptions. These are a little bit less lengthy than the Hilti Robotics Challenge, so it'll be a lighter read, and there's fewer ideas. But remember, these people are going to win $250 and a year-long subscription to Chat
whole year.
GPT Plus. A whole year. 365 days. Wow.
Jinx. Like we put
Jinx.
over a year, yes.
I know, yes.
So that is open. So have you voted yet?
I voted this morning. Yes.
Do you vote for my ideas?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh.
Well, no, I'm not going
Wow.
to tell you.
You did it?
Well, if-
wow.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you.
When does voting close?
It closes on July 21st, which is a Friday, around 6 p.m. or so. At the end of the day, just get your vote in.
So you have
sometime on
about
Friday.
a little less than 2 weeks to vote,
Right.
ladies and gents. So make sure you head over to that email, find the link, and
Vote away.
vote away. Bruno does have 3 ideas, so
Yes,
Give
I
him-
have one.
give him some love. That's great.
Yeah. How are you? What's up with your world?
Pretty busy over here in the VDC world.
There's lots of people here today.
Lots of people, because this week we're actually doing a VDC intern swap.
Really?
Really,
Oh, that's who those
really.
people are in the office. I had no idea who they
Yeah.
were. Yeah. weird.
I'm sure you didn't.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we did. The 2 interns that are normally in Austin went to Dallas this week, and the 3 in Dallas came to Austin this week, just so they can get to see
Different
the
offices.
different offices, learn a
yeah.
few things, learn about how the grass may or may not be greener on the other side.
May or may not. Right.
So hopefully
Hopefully it's greener though.
it's greener. But yeah, just a nice little thing we like to do with the interns in VDC, just to get them excited, just
Yeah.
to see different projects and different offices and work with different people. So we
Yeah.
have that going on.
Yeah. I wish we could do that. We don't have any interns.
So it's only 2 of you. Well, you travel to offices, so you've done
yeah,
kind
I
of the
know.
same thing.
I'm just messing.
You're salty. It's
Yeah,
okay.
a little bit.
But you know what wasn't salty was the food at the Saslamar Top Out last
Wow,
Friday.
nice.
As always, the RO Prime team does a fantastic job of cooking.
Mhm.
I'm a personal fan of the Joseph Francis beans.
Joseph Francis Beans.
Joseph Francis beans. They just have the right amount of spice to them and
Really?
nice and warm. Chef's kiss, you know.
Sure.
I have some in my fridge.
Oh.
Leftovers.
Can I come get some?
No,
Okay.
they're just for me and
Yeah,
Remes.
I didn't want any anyway. Whatever.
But I've had a few fun stats that came from South Lamar Top Out. Apart that topping out represents that we've done point structure, so that's good.
It's very exciting.
But regarding food, these are
Mm.
some interesting stats that you might enjoy. That
I
you
do love
meat.
numbers.
We had about 175 pounds of raw biscuit, which came to about a little more than 580 tacos.
580 tacos?
That's a lot of tacos.
How many people are at this top out?
A lot. It's usually all trade partners and then our team,
Oh.
office and site
Hmm.
staff. So lots of that. We had over about 10 gallons of beans.
Jeez.
I know it's a lot.
And you have about 2 in your fridge.
Yeah, probably. And then I do have the staff for that. We have around 140 people.
Oh, there it is.
It only took 8 minutes for those amount of people to go through the line. We had a whole system here.
Jeez.
It's
You
all thanks.
timed it?
I didn't, but someone
That's
on
pretty
the
good.
hour did it.
Nice.
It's a very efficient process.
Yeah, it sounds like
If
it.
you've never been, I would highly recommend.
I mean, we are in construction. We are generally pretty
But
efficient.
when's the last time you went to a job site?
Ooh, let's move on to our next segment.
But yeah, it was so congratulations to South Lamar team and
Yeah.
everyone involved with it for topping out.
Yeah.
Clap, clap, clap,
Hooray,
clap,
clap,
clap. I
clap,
don't know if
clap,
that
clap.
sounds yet, but
We do.
clap, 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 clap.
Organa sounds.
Another big thing happening next week. Have you heard?
No,
Have you heard what's happening next week?
I have not.
It's our Connect week.
Oh, I did hear about that. You're right.
Yes. So hope you are all excited for that, and I believe you're all encouraged to go.
Oh my, I'm super excited.
And if you're new to RO, the Connect, you know what you want to explain to the new hires?
You got it. You've been here longer. You know.
Our Connect just simply at what used to be called a town hall, and it's just a place where all the people in your region come together and the leadership shares input and progress about where RO is at and where it's going, and kind of highlight some of our current projects and new hires. So it's a good time.
Okay.
And normally there's a little happy hour afterwards. I believe those invites have been
Ooh.
sent out. So I believe we start with Houston on Monday for Connect, then San Antonio on Tuesday, Austin Wednesday, and then Dallas on Thursday. So make sure
Nice.
you partake and
Yeah.
go enjoy, mingle with your family,
Yeah.
and just see what RO is doing.
I know. I met last time. When was it last time? Early this year. Can't
Yes,
remember.
I think it's a quarterly thing.
Whenever it happened, I met a lot of people because I was relatively new at the time. So
And look at you now.
yeah,
Still not two people.
Yeah, still only 2. You and James. That's it. But yeah, it's cool to see to meet everyone. I mean, there's so many people on project sites that won't have very limited access to or limited time to interact with them. So it's a good way to kind of meet them and get to know them a little bit better,
Yeah.
and hopefully they can get to know me.
Probably.
Probably. I
hopefully.
don't talk, so they'll just do all the talking.
You
so.
do talk.
No.
You're talking 15 minutes.
Because
But yeah,
I'm
so make sure you
forced
check
to.
it out to your local RO Connect event next week.
Coming to a city near you.
Yeah, literally coming to sitting with you. But now, we had a lot of people told us last week that they love their little Wheel of Fortune.
Right. Where is that wheel?
So I don't know.
Is it coming?
Is the producer on their way?
He might be.
So we're gonna bring it back again to choose which
Yay!
segments we're gonna go over.
Plus, Amazon wouldn't take our return, so we had to keep using it.
And we only do have 5 minutes, so we'll see how
Oh
long
shoot!
this
Wow, we've
take.
been talking a lot.
Do you want to spin the wheel?
No, you got it. Your hand's already there.
Ready? Ta 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 ta. Oh, Mike. Ta 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 ta. Ooh, hot takes. This is one of the newest segments introduced by yours truly.
Oh my gosh.
Again, this segment just to bring a hot take topic and we briefly discuss it, but it's really for you, audience, to talk about this with your peers in your space. So the hot take, no one has heard this hot take, so it's pretty
I'm so excited
fresh.
and nervous.
It's a good one. It's fashion related.
Oh god.
So there's a urban legend that supposedly to clean jeans you can put them in your freezer. I don't know if you've done this.
I've not.
I may have done this. But how do you feel about that? Do you think it works?
I feel like it does to a certain extent.
Hmm.
Kind of neutralizes the scents. I'm sure there's something chemically going on there.
I told friends about this, and they call me crazy.
They called you crazy.
Yeah.
I would probably want to take most things out of the freezer. Like, I don't want it all mixing in together. Like, especially if you have like ice, like an ice maker, and like you're exposing. I feel like the ice could taste funky after that.
Yeah, but it's not like.
But where's the scent? The scent's got to go somewhere.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Does it freeze inside the pants?
Oh, I don't know. But I guess it wouldn't clean. They would only make them smell better. Like if they're dirty, they're like dirt and grime on them. Like that ain't coming out.
That ain't.
That ain't
That
coming
ain't
out.
coming
No, it
out.
ain't. No, it ain't.
No, not even like the deer and summers.
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
I
mean, you've done
went.
it,
I've
apparently.
Done it. They felt clean. They felt cool too afterwards.
Whew, I'm sure. Nice
but
on a
yeah.
summer day.
So that's the hot take.
Or a cold take, really,
Or cold take.
in this
That's
instance.
pretty good.
I'm trying.
So that's the take.
Okay. That's unnecessary.
That's the pity laugh you get for your
Oh
bad
my
jokes.
The life just keeps going, doesn't it?
But that's the topic. Do you think putting pants in the freezer helps them clean?
Try it out. And if,
Try it out.
yeah,
And check it out.
let us know.
I think we might have time for one more.
We can
looking
be
at
quick,
time,
I
so
think.
we can be quick. I mean,
I didn't write down like 20 events like last time. Made sure to limit it. I had 15 last time.
no, I saw today.
I had to scroll. Oh, but it's not me. You get to keep
I
talking.
get to keep talking.
Woohoo!
This is a segment we like to call Building Around the World. This week, we're talking about the $8.5 billion airport rebuild at Chicago.
8.5
At
billion.
their airport.
Did you know that 8.5 billion is the same GDP as the country of Kuwait?
Really?
Yep.
No way.
So the amount of money they produce is equal to the amount of money that we're funneling into the Chicago airport.
Oh, dang.
That's crazy.
That is
Puts
pretty
things
nuts.
into perspective.
Well, there's a lot of things happening in this project. I don't know if you've been to the Chicago airport, but it's
I don't think so.
it's looking to optimize some facilities, some kind of pedestrian experience, some runways, and some just facilities overall. From what I heard and read, it's not the most pleasing of airports, so they're trying to upgrade that. They're thinking about adding a new global terminal, ramping up at Terminal 5 for some reason that's specific. And they're constructing 2 new satellite concourses and expanding their runway system, roadways, parking situation. So just overall trying to improve it and make it a little more enjoyable to be there at the airport.
Nice.
And it is expected to be complete by 2028. So it's a
Whoa.
big project.
Yeah.
I mean, all the things I mentioned, there's a lot of things.
I guess you
going
can't
to play.
shut it down either. I feel like that probably adds some complications of keeping it open and constructing. Yeah, you get it.
It's a needed service. And hopefully we'll take this O'Hare Airport to one of the most highly visited international hubs of the 21st century. So next time in Chicago, check out the airport being upgraded.
Yeah.
And that's building around the world. But I think it's time. I think it's time
It
to
is
introduce our
time.
guest.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you
I don't know
ready?
who it is.
Do you think our guest is? You don't know who it is?
Uh-uh.
I'll give a few clues to see if you can
Okay.
find out who the guest is.
All right.
I know Frank Sinatra has a song named after her.
Really?
Yeah, it came up on my Spotify for some reason. But really, if Sunflowers and Cholula had a daughter, we would have this guest because she's a
Sunflowers and
happy sunflower when you see her at the office, and she has a little spicy
Little
Latina
kick.
side to her.
Mm.
And we know she puts the Linda in Que Linda Fiesta, which
Okay.
means what a great party. Because not only is she a great person, but also she's enjoyable and she always
Of
has a
course.
good attitude and kinda is ready for a good time. And then if you don't see her at the office, you can surely find her at the Austin FC Stadium
Really?
chanting Vamos Verdes. You know what that means?
Let's go green.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. She's a big fan, and she's gone to the last RO social events. If you haven't seen her there,
No, never have.
next
Yes,
time
I
you
have.
do, she's very proud of the Austin FC fans. And I know one of the people, someone who really loves her is also my dog.
Ah.
Because my dog loves her and her pool now. So
Lots of
it's-
hair in that pool now.
yeah, but it's great golden hair. And then I'm sure James will get into this a little bit more, but she's on our people services department. So she has a special place in our heart because she has helped hire a lot of new people.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you know, but she also helped in recruiting you.
I did know that actually.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So, and she's always helping our VDC and R&D grow. So we're excited to introduce the one and only Linda.
Yeah, Linda.
And then you'll see her right after this commercial that will show you how to vote for the AI challenge.
Yes, go vote.
This is going to be a quick video on how to rank your ideas for the Hilti Robotics Challenge. First thing you're going to do is click on the link in the email or copy paste that link into your browser. It's going to take you to a Power Apps page. It may ask you for permissions to edit an Excel sheet, which is the back end of this. Go ahead and hit allow on that. When you get here, you'll see that on the left we have all of the ideas listed out. And this is just a very basic list, but if you hover over the icon and click on that, it will take you to that idea in the innovation station where you can see all the details on it, any attached documents, all the things that person included on the particular idea. You can also use the link down here, the button down below, to jump over to Iris in the innovation station. That's probably the best way to view these ideas. If you come up here to menu and go to challenges, you'll see all the challenges listed. We're going to go ahead and filter that down to the Hilti Robotics challenge. And now you're able to see all the ideas next to each other. And if we want to go in here and select one, it provides us a very nicely formatted way to review these ideas. So those are the two different ways to review the ideas, get all the information that you want. Once you've decided how you want to rank these, you're going to come over here on the right side of the screen. You'll see, best idea, first place. Go ahead and select whichever you feel is the best idea, followed by the second best idea. And these will not allow you to select the same idea twice. So if you've decided that CoffeeBot really belongs down in fifth best, you're going to have to select something else for first. Once you've ranked the ideas as you see fit, first through fifth place, we're just ranking the top 5. Go ahead and click Submit My Rankings. That will submit your selections, record them in our data set. You can go back and use this link to do this again, but it's just going to edit your previous submission. So keep that in mind. You're welcome to go and make as many changes, edits as you want, but whatever the last entry is the one that will be looked at. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to Dr. Fritz or myself. We'll get you taken care of as quick as we can. This is very important. This is how we're choosing the winners for not only the Hilti challenge, but also probably for the AI challenge whenever that wraps up here in the beginning of June. So please, if you have any questions, reach out to us. We'll get back to you as quickly as we can. Thank you and best of luck.
Petrol confusion, and you took me to a level I haven't been to in a while. That was a new one, Linda. I'm still confused. We'll wrap that one up after the fact.
Let's get started.
I think we have. Oh goodness, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
What did I tell you? We haven't even started yet.
This is Linda Kiernan.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking some time to come hang out with us while I try to figure out how to adjust my mic stand. How did you end up at RO, Linda? Because you've been here for how long now?
So I've only been here for about a year and maybe 5 months. February 14th, 2023. No, 2022. 2020.
Yeah, I was going to say February 23. I don't know if we
I've
should
only
have
been
you
here
on this.
A
You're
few weeks.
still in your probationary period.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on making it a
Thank
little over a
you.
year now.
Thank you.
What brought you to RO? Or I'm sorry, what do you do at RO, first of all?
So my official title is Senior Talent Specialist, but I'm whatever you guys need, literally. I'm a translator. I'm a therapist. Just
Okay. Taking some
No,
notes here.
I'm really just, we're here. People Services is here to make sure that all of our employees are happy and thriving at RO. So really, that's my job. But officially, what I was hired to do was to help hire employees, great employees. Like we have, I think we hired about 123 last year, and we're at
Oh my
about
gosh.
50 some this year. Yeah.
123 employees a year.
Yeah, and all our hiring managers were doing that all by themselves here in Austin, San Antonio. Yep.
That is bananas.
Yes. So I'm like a liaison between, candidates and hiring managers, making sure communication is flowing, making sure we got the right people coming in, the right attitude, right qualifications.
Which
Yeah.
is one of those things that I think is grossly underappreciated by people.
Yeah.
Like it's not just filter through LinkedIn or
Nope.
ZipRecruiter or whatever and
No.
grab someone with the right qualifications. Like
Yeah.
there has to be a fit
Yeah. Yeah.
from a culture standpoint, and also
Exactly.
I think too beyond. I think everyone needs to be culture fit, but then there's also kind of the subculture you get within each region, within each
Exactly.
department. Someone who's going to be a good fit in the IT team may not be the best fit in the marketing team or whatever.
That's exactly it. So that was probably my biggest learning curve was that sure, I've been in construction in the past, so I know some of the terms, right? But I don't know your team. I don't know what the team at South Lamar looks like. I don't know what the team in marketing feels like. So getting to know everybody, making those site visits, making some connections, building some trust with our teams out there, so I could really get to know them and find the right people to hire for their teams.
I already have a list of further questions I want to dive into. I think it's, we bill ourselves. We're a general contractor,
Yes.
and I think that the general sense of a general contractor is they build things.
Yes. Mhm.
And the reality is we don't build anything.
Mhm.
We kindly ask others
Yes.
to do things for us,
Yep.
and they build things.
Yeah.
So much of what we do is really it's relationship
Yes.
management, expectation management, and figuring out how to work with other people, how to communicate with them.
Yeah.
So it really seems like the ops may be the largest department, but the most
Yes.
critical aspect of ops is the HR people services side of things.
Yeah. We work together, right?
We have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're bound to fail if we don't. I want to know more about you though before I ask you all those more
Good
technical
questions.
people services HR questions. You said you have past experience in construction. Are you formerly a mason or a plumber? What were you doing?
I was a roofer for about 6 years. No, just kidding. No.
I was bought into it. I was like, what?
I was a sociology major in college, and I went to a career fair, and I met some recruiters from Pulte Homes, and walking by, for whatever reason, maybe they had some swag I wanted. I don't know. I stopped at their table, and they started talking to me about this position as customer relations manager. So basically taking homeowners from the moment that they sign their purchase contract all the way through to the first year in their home. Yeah. So really just building those relationships with customers and working with them and our trade partners, making sure that they're getting the product they want and fulfilling warranty duties. Yeah.
What's throwing me so off kilter
Yeah.
on that is the fact that Pulte Homes came to you as a sociology
Yes.
major,
Yes.
not someone in real estate, not
No.
someone with a construction science degree, not someone in, well, I guess
Yeah.
architecture wouldn't really fit the bill, not
Yeah.
someone in business management or
Yeah.
administration or
No.
marketing, sociology.
Yeah.
Is that, do you know if that's kind of a norm for that type of role, or were you an exception there?
No. So when I started there, I mean, there were obviously it was 2004, so there was a big boom in housing at that moment. So they hired, it was about 26 of us right out of college. Yeah. And we were all types of majors. But I want to say, now that I think about it, I think the majority were like communications, psychology, behavioral science. We did have some construction science. Cal Poly Pomona was one of the first schools to have one of those
Okay.
like construction science programs. So yeah. we did have some of them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think maybe we could all learn a little something there as we continue to grow as a company and whatnot.
Exactly.
There's other good folks out
Yeah.
there.
That's all these different perspectives that hopefully we leverage so that we can make those great decisions when we're hiring.
So you said that was 2004
2004.
that you started, and they hired
Yes.
23, 24 people,
Mhm.
and it was probably
It
fantastic
was amazing.
for
4
years. And then it was god awful.
Yeah.
What was that like for you, being especially on the residential side?
Oh, jeez.
What was that like?
It was very tough because coming right out of college and having a great income, and then like these bonuses, and the culture there was very it was a lot like RO, where it's very employee centric, family centric. Except since we were a bunch of like college graduates, they would take us on all these like fun trips, and I got to plan a lot of them, so that was a lot of fun too. Like Tahoe, and where else did we go? We went San Francisco wine tasting. We did all these like fun trips. Yeah.
Where were you based out of?
California.
Okay, that makes a
Yeah.
little more sense.
Yeah.
Here I'm thinking like Austin. I'm like Austin, and
Yeah.
you're going out to wine country in Cali and Lake Tahoe. I'm like, those are some.
Yes.
It's not a 40-minute flight around the corner
Nope.
to go to the beach or what have you.
No. So it was a fun time. It was a really fun time until it wasn't, obviously, in 2008. And then I think 75% of our staff was laid off, and I was one of them. Yeah.
That's so tough. How?
Yeah.
What was that? I mean, you're 4 years out of school. You're kind of getting to
Yeah.
the point where, like you said, you have a good income. Things
Yeah.
seem stable. You're like,
Yeah.
hey, I can
Living the life.
get a house. I can
Yeah.
start a family and do all
Yeah.
these things.
I bought a house. Smart. It was a
Makes
great
sense,
time.
right?
It was a
Full
great time. Yeah.
Was it stressful for you to be acquiring the burden of having a house and all that, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I remember I graduated high school in 2005 and I went into the Army in 2007.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
luckiest dumb decision of my
Yeah.
life. 2007 to 11, I was active duty Army. So I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in the real world, but
Yeah.
my life is great.
It sucks. Yeah, it
Um,
sucked.
But yeah, I can't imagine being that age and going through that. Just the stress. What were some of I don't know if coping mechanisms is the best way to put it, but like how did you get yourself through that without just turning into
I
like a highly depressive state?
I know. I think luckily I was born with a very positive attitude, I would say, and that only takes you so far. But also just optimistic that things were going to get better, and just continuously trying to improve my skills, but also applying for jobs that I thought related to what I did at Pulte Homes. So it didn't really take me that long to find another job. And that was great because then I just kind of did a couple of things for a little while before I was like, okay, wait, I went to school for behavioral science, sociology, psychology. So what did I actually want to do? So then that's when I realized, like, okay, you really want to help people, right? I've been doing that, but like use that, leverage that. What direction do you want to take? So that's when I decided to go work at a university as a I decided to be a academic advisor. I'm like, what? That feels like a different life at this point. I'm like, what was my title? It was 9 years. I was a academic coach.
Wow.
Yeah, academics, and then at some point, they had us learn some of the financial aid side. And then while I was there, I was like, love this, but I don't feel like that's exactly my vibe. So I'm thinking like I want to work more with adults. So I was like, I'm going to go.
You mean college kids aren't adults? They don't classify as adults?
No, I got it. After 9 years, it's a little weary. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of the same conversations. It's just like, you gotta just go to class. These classes are really expensive, and now we gotta retake this, and we're doing academic appeals again. Same kid in my office every semester.
Oh my
Why are you looking at Bruna? Or
oh no,
just kidding. Oh, is it Hagen?
he's the one I worry about. Yeah.
But yeah, that's when I decided to go to grad school and learn human resources.
So okay, so you went beyond the bachelor's degree and got yourself a master's in.
So I'm 3 classes away from a master's degree in human resource, but I did get my grad certificate. I just got to the point where we decided to have Quentin, our 6-year-old now, and I thought to myself, like, I don't really want to give up. I've been a parent before, and I know how precious that time is. And I actually earned my bachelor's with my 2 younger boys.
Oh, wow.
So I knew how much time that takes from them. So I was just kind of like, it's just, you only have so much time. So I thought, a grad certificate in human resource, that's perfect. So that's where I stopped.
What was it that pulled you into that sociology, HR, psychology side of things in the first place?
People are interesting.
Some
I love
are.
talking to people.
There's
I
some
know
that I could do without in my life.
everybody's interesting. Everybody's interesting. Wait, you just gotta listen long enough.
That might be my problem.
give them the time, give them the opportunity to talk, and people will tell you all kinds of stuff.
Was whenever you were
Yeah.
little Linda running around on the
Mhm.
playground, was it still in you even back then? Were you just
Yeah.
curious about people and wanting to
Yeah.
know what are you doing? Why are you doing it? What's going on in your world? Or was this
Yeah.
something that you kind of grew into?
Well, you know how they say never meet a stranger? I don't think I've ever met a stranger. Whether 5 or 6 years old, I don't know. My mom says that I was talking to grown-ups at that age. She actually says that at 5 or 6 years old, I was her best friend.
I'm just picturing. I don't have kids, but some of my friends do, and they've got the kid that will like come down and sit down and be like, "So, Daddy,
Yes.
why are you angry with Mommy?"
Oh, that's
I'm
my
just picturing-
6-year-old. That's my 6-year-old now.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh, yeah.
Quentin.
Yes.
it-
Bruno knows it.
I wonder where he gets that from.
He's inquisitive. Yeah. And he's insightful too. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really, I don't think we give kids credit for the intelligence they have. There's this.
Nope.
I think a little off track, but maybe you can validate
Yeah.
this for me or not. I think that the perception score, if you will, that we assign to others is competence multiplied by your ability to communicate.
Okay.
And I think kids have a very high competence, children, but they just haven't developed that means of communication very
Communication.
highly yet. So we tend to score them a bit lower than we would an adult or what have you.
Yeah. Until you find one that has the vocabulary, and you're just like, wait, what did you say to me? You see me like that? Like, he was visiting some relatives, and he came home and he said, "I don't like him." The husband, and we're like, "Oh, why?" And we're tell us what happened, right? You just gotta listen, because sometimes there might be something there. Like, they say something mean to you, and he said, "No, he's just not very nice, and I think it's because everybody likes her better than him." I'm like, me and my husband are just looking at okay, and then we're like just
Oh
what
my
did this
gosh.
kid? But yeah, super insightful.
Good Dr. Q, medicine man in
Dr.
the future.
Q.
Yeah, out there with
yeah.
his own show, diagnosing
Yes.
people. And
Like, you just met them. Like, yeah,
That's
and he was dead on. They were divorced within 6 months.
borrow Quentin for some time personally.
Yes.
Just be like, hey, could you assess this human for me?
He doesn't. He'll draw. He's an artist too. He draws a lot. So he draws all these pictures where we're just looking at them. We're like, wonder what he's trying to tell us with these pictures. Like, don't ask unless you really want to know.
Yeah, might regret getting
Yes.
more than you asked for.
Yep.
Oh, how amazing! How fortunate for you too. I'm super happy to hear it. You've got such a good relationship, and he's
My 2 older boys are exactly the same too, but in
Really?
very different ways.
What's the age difference there?
So Nicholas is 23. Yep. Sebastian's they both one just turned 23 and Sebastian just turned 21, and then Quentin's 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got like
We're doing it all over again.
multiple generations
Yeah.
just as your children there.
But when you see that, when they're all in the same room together and they're playing, they're talking, it's like you can't even tell the difference.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah.
So you were off in California and
Yes.
working at Pulte Homes and doing all these fun things and
Yeah.
vacationing in Lake Tahoe on the company's dime and
Yep.
drinking wine and planning all these great trips.
Yep.
We are not currently in California, and we're not
No.
vacationing at Lake Tahoe or in wine country. How did you end up here at RO and specifically in Austin?
So my mom moved to Austin when I was 18, right? So she's been here for a little while. What, 15 years, 18, 15? No. A little over 20. I want to say like 25 years she's been here. And we just love Austin. Ever since she moved here, I like always really enjoyed being here. But you're raising 2 young boys and you don't want to pull them out of their environment. So as soon as those 2 boys went off to college and they both went to San Francisco, we were in Austin. We got here as soon as we could. Yeah.
Just be near your family and all
Yeah.
that, and certainly not a bad job market by any means at that point in time.
No, the last year in 2019, before we decided to move here, was it 2018, 2019? 2019. We were here 6 times that year. So we were like, I think it's time to make the move.
Make this permanent.
Yeah, so much of my family is here that it was really time to make the move. Yeah.
Well,
I'm glad. Best decision we ever made.
Yeah, so I'm very happy you're here. How'd you
Thank
end
you.
up at RO of all places?
So I was at UT working in the HR department there, and I had contacted a recruiter before we moved to Texas for help, finding a position. And she called me when I was at UT. I was there for less than 2 years, and she said, "Hey, I have this great opportunity for you. I think that you'd be perfect for this role." And then as soon as she said construction company, I thought to myself, "Oh no!"
Scared
it's
of
like my PTSD kicked in.
Right. What am I getting myself back into here?
Exactly. So she told me all about RO, and I think like her enthusiasm was a little off-putting, like not off-putting, but like it caught me off guard. Really, it's because I was just like, why is this lady so excited about this company? Like there must be something to it, right? And so even though I really wasn't looking, she set up a meeting between Sarah and I, and then just talking to Sarah and hearing her passion for RO and our employees and her description of the position, I felt like I needed to learn more. And so then every subsequent interview, then I met with Kevin, and I was like, oh my gosh, this place is great.
Very serious question
Yes.
now.
Yes.
You met Mr. Porter, Kevin Porter.
Mm-hmm.
How many minutes of conversation, or perhaps it was seconds of conversation, did you have until you encountered your first dad joke?
So I didn't hear my first dad joke from Kevin until I had been at the company for, some time and met with him a few times. Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
he does have.
Yes.
He can mask up when he needs to.
Yes.
Incredible.
He came across as he is, kind, and just highly intelligent, just like Sarah, but not as like jovial as he is when you meet him in person. Yeah.
That's,
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever I had, it just flew away.
Yeah.
That thought was in my head for less than the blink of an eye. Oh my God.
Yeah. Then they
Wow.
brought me in here. They brought me to come in and meet with everybody because it was still kind of, like COVID-y times. So it was
Right.
just kind of like they were trying not to meet me until like they were almost sure. So last interview was with Alan Codina, and it was like a meet and greet is the way that it was presented to me. Like, oh, okay, like pretty much I felt like I had the job, but you're going to meet one of the hiring managers you're going to be working with. And he drilled me. Yeah.
I mean, how bad could it have been?
He's the nicest person. I love working with that. I love working with all of the hiring managers here. Everyone here is great, by the way, right? We all know that. But when you first meet somebody and you think you're just meeting them to like, no, he went through my resume and he hit every point and he wanted to know my theory on recruiting and all this other fun stuff. And I was just like, oh, I wasn't expecting this, but so I got the balance, right? I got to see that RO is a lot of love and nurturing, but also a lot of business. Yeah.
You need to get some
Serious
things done.
business. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun, but in the process, we better be getting some
Yes.
really nice projects built and
Yeah.
getting them done. All the on time, on budget, keeping the team happy,
Exactly.
keeping the client happy.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
So now that you've been here for about a year and a half,
Mhm.
what do you love about RO?
Okay. I'm glad you I know you ask everybody this question, but I'm glad you sent me the question because then I had I had a chance to really like hone in because, of course, obviously the first thing that always comes to everybody's mind is the people, right? We just have like the best people, but really, really, when you think about it, and what I love about the whole organization as a whole is our commitment to our employees, their personal and their professional growth, of course, So, and it's not just your professional growth, like I said, like it's also personal growth. If someone is going through a tough time, and they need the resources, we have them, right? We're always looking for ways to develop our employees, help them grow in their careers, obviously, but we always want to make sure that they have what they need to be successful in their lives too, which I think is phenomenal. There's no better. I've been working since I was young, and I've never been in a company that I can say genuinely really cares about the success of their employees like RO does.
It's such construction AEC sector in particular is such an extractive industry.
Yes.
It's so budget driven and cutthroat. I don't know if it's as bad as finance is, but it's a very close second.
Yep.
So to find a place that is able to do the quality of work is those same, I don't know if brutal is the right way to word it, but the very performant, tense, rigid structures that do that, to find one that gets the same things done, but in a framework that puts a primary emphasis on the person is it seems to be very rare.
It is.
And
it is
something I'm certainly grateful for myself.
Yeah, I've worked for some pretty great companies, and funny enough, Pulte Homes and RO have been probably the two best companies I've ever worked for. Employee centric, definitely family centric, and I mean, there's something to be said that privately owned, family owned business where there's heart behind everything that we do, as well as just budget conscious and also like business conscious, but a lot of heart, that's for sure.
So I know a moment ago you mentioned your Alan quizzing you on your recruiting strategy.
Yes.
And I'm curious to hear from you, because we had Mr. Porter on, but we talked a lot more big picture.
Yes.
Whenever you're looking at a candidate or looking for a candidate, what are some of the things that you're looking at, considering, or what are some instant red flags, so that those that are out there maybe looking at resumes themselves at a career fair, they get something from a friend or what have you. What are some things they should be looking out for, or to any potential interns that are employed at RO maybe watching this? What should they have on the resume? And how should it be formatted? What are some of the biggest factors that you look for?
Yeah. So I like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, right? I always joke that I start everybody off at a 10 and then work my way down. So I want to believe that everybody has that potential, that everybody is a good fit here. So what I try to do is give that person as much information as I can about RO and about the position, and then let them do the talking. Ask them to tell me about themselves and why they're interested in RO. And then that's usually where you pretty quickly, especially if you just sit back and listen long enough, you hear everything that you need to hear. When folks are not necessarily asking so much about the culture, or not necessarily asking so much about the people, or the types of projects that we're building, the things that are important to us, and they're asking more about, and of course, career growth is really important. But like if you're asking, how long is it going to take for me to go from QM to assistant PM? That's a great question, but that shouldn't necessarily be your first or second question. You should.
And it does seem somewhat short-sighted to me, or I shouldn't say. It's a very simplistic heuristic to say, how long does it take me to get from A to B? Maybe it'll be 6 months. Maybe you'll show up, and as a OE, or I'm sorry, as a PE, you'll start throwing together spreadsheets, and you'll be in the books, and you'll be helping write subcontracts, and you'll be a PM in 10 months. The first ever, right? 21-year-old PM. Or maybe you'll show up, and you'll start doing RFIs and submittals, and you'll realize that is what you love doing.
Exactly.
And you are doing more for the company in that role than you could in any other role possible. And 30 years later, you're still doing the same thing. Yeah. So I would think the question that you would want to ask, if you are curious to your career growth opportunities and your progression forward and all that, is how am I judged
Mm-hmm.
when being assessed for opportunities for
Yeah.
advancement?
Yeah.
Is this a checkbox type of thing? Is this
Yes.
if I'm doing all my things well, I get promoted?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it I should ask and be looking to get there, and then I'll be given a path based on the
Yeah.
projects, people I work with?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just
And
my
it's just different for everyone, right? And all leaders are different. All leaders, and it's really, I mean, that's a life skill to really adjust to your surrounding, right? And if you have if you're the type of person that's task oriented, right, and you go and you work for a leader that maybe isn't as someone like me, right? That I'm going for more of the feel. Like, okay, it feels like things are getting done. I'm not gonna micromanage you. I'm not gonna ask you to show me every day exactly what you did. Then you adjust to that, or vice versa, right? If you have a manager that you feel is more of a micromanager, hey, that's who you're working for, and maybe there's something to learn from that too. You know, maybe that's not your strength, but learn. Don't necessarily take it as a negative. But I would say one or a couple of the red flags usually is
give us your top 3.
Yes.
Linda's 3 red flags.
okay. Pet peeves on resumes. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys because no one's leaving. But if you're hoping to come work here, I would say don't put your experience in reverse chronological order. I hate that. I don't want to know what you did 10 years ago. Show me. I don't have a lot of time. I'm not looking. I'm really not sitting there with a monocle looking at your resume. You know, so I really need you to put like right at the front, right at the top, what the last thing you did, exactly what you were doing there, how it relates to the position that you're applying for at this moment. Because that's great that you, were painting houses, but you're applying for a position, in marketing or whatever, So I need you to put exactly in a couple of sentences right at the top what you were doing at your position and what the last position you were doing. And then the other thing that I don't love, and this is just more for the person applying for the position, is don't put your picture on a resume.
Really?
No.
This is a no-go.
Can you imagine if you're looking at a resume, you're going to hire somebody and this person looks like your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, I could. But I'm in a bit of a unique situation here.
But I'm just saying, you never know what somebody's biases are, inherent or not.
You don't think that creates more of a human-to-human connection whenever you get a resume with an image on it?
Do you know most tech companies won't even process your resume if your picture's on it?
Now, that I could see is because they have a lot of DEI,
Yes.
diversity, exclusion, and
Not equity.
equity.
And inclusion. Jeez, we can.
Well,
we can
it's
go
been a
to jail
pleasure
for
working here, Linda. Thank you. I will take my exclusion and go elsewhere with it. I mean, in my
Yes,
brain, I knew it
yes,
was like
yes,
anti-exclusion.
yes.
It's inclusion, and the E is something else.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah, they have a lot of efforts they go through to make sure that there's
Yes.
no selection bias by race or gender or anything of that
Exactly.
sort. So I guess that's valid.
Yeah, I would just, and that's from. I don't mind seeing your picture, but I'm just saying, as if you're out there and you're looking for a career, don't put your picture on your resume.
So we had reverse chronological order.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Stick to tell me what you did. No photos.
And then don't talk smack about current employees at the company you're trying to work for. That's been my favorite one so far. It's like,
You had people talking smack about employees at RO
Yeah.
while they're trying to get a job at RO.
yeah.
Why would they want to work at RO? Who are they?
Well, they wanted
we
to
talk
know.
about it later, but
Yeah, they wanted to know if she still worked here. So that's like that. That was like, hey, I'm just wondering, does da 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 still work there? Because she was a real explicitive. You're a winner, dude. Like I was like, really?
okay. We don't need to go any further on that. No smack talk.
don't. Just in general, don't be negative during your interview.
In general, don't be a negative person.
Exactly.
It doesn't get you very far.
It doesn't. It doesn't. No. Because, I mean, we all are leaving our former employers for a reason, right? We're not happy for whatever reason, right? Or we're ready to move on. We know that. Don't talk about your previous employer in a negative way, especially when it's just like, they wanted me to be there on time, I don't know if that one's ever come up, but you know what I mean? Like something that is like, well, we kind of expect that too. So, okay, you just disqualified
Right.
yourself from this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's very valid.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that kind of piqued my interest, if you will. You mentioned the, just put your things in chronological order, your experiences, but also the relevancy to the job you're seeking.
Exactly.
And in talking with people, I think talking to Bruno about Hagen at one point in time, prior to his employment, it was one of those things like you can be, I don't know if creative is how you would describe it. Look deeper than surface level.
Yes.
Right? Just because you were a tutor doesn't mean that your skills don't translate into being a project manager, right?
Exactly.
You have experiences working with people. You've probably done some conflict resolution. You've probably done things with scheduling.
Yes.
We had Kevin Williams on a couple weeks ago, and he mentioned that he was the president of his frat up there at Tech.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's, as we were sitting there talking, I was like, that's effectively being a superintendent. Yeah. You're trying to get everyone to come together, right?
You're trying to rally a bunch of
maybe
folks. Rally them together to meet a goal. Yep, definitely.
Yeah. But if you're only looking at surface level, you're thinking, well, I'm a president of a frat and I want to be a superintendent, which I think is where he's trying to go.
Yeah.
At the surface level, you think, oh, well, those aren't similar at all.
No.
But if you start breaking it out into what are those subtasks that build up into that job duty, and you start saying, oh yeah, I've done that and I've done that. Yeah. So maybe you are a painter who wants to be in marketing and be like, oh, I have fantastic color selection. I'm really great at picking out good colors.
Exactly.
Like, oh, okay. Now
especially with the labor market that we've been experiencing the last couple of years, it's not, we don't have the luxury of finding, I can't just say we need a superintendent. I'm going to Google superintendents, or I'm going to go into LinkedIn and search for all superintendents in Austin, and I'll find 3 of them. Like, that's not necessarily how it works, because either they're gainfully employed, happy where they're at, or they're just not looking to leave. But we have to think outside the box. So that's why we do so much of our career fair recruiting. We invest a lot of time into that, because look at the talent. Kevin, a lot of some of our current employees like Jacob Becca, Hagen. We have so many great employees. Who?
Lily Manis. I can't get enough. I'm sorry, Lily Kelly.
Yes, Lily. I see, and that was before my time, but yeah. But yes, definitely. So many of our great employees. I mean, like, just all their names are coming, like Manna, Hallie, like all these great people. And look, and that's where we're getting a lot of our diversity from. The college career fairs. We are at a college career fair. We're representing RO. You go to a Texas State career fair, we had Haley Tennell, and then we had Allison Harper, and then we had all the other gentlemen that usually go to that fair, but we had fair representation. Harper was there. So they're looking at RO and they're saying, oh, look at this company. They have 3 women and 3 men. They're like evenly represented. I'm going to walk over there. Kevin said it, that sometimes you're walking around and you look over and they make eye contact, you make contact. We don't do that. We walk over to you. We see you looking at us. We walk over you. We hand you some swag and say, come talk to us. We want people to feel that RO culture from that career fair moment. And then obviously if they're lucky enough to intern with us, then they get that exposure when they're here with us as well.
I love it. Yeah. Hopefully I don't get in trouble here, but I'll throw it out there. I'm certain that we do. I know that we do all of the DEI type things that we're supposed to and all that. Yeah. But I think the most beautiful part of that is the fact that it's not an effort to go find people based on a certain set of characteristics. It's the fact that we want that top 10%.
Yes.
And that top 10% is going to have everything, everyone of every color and background and gender and all that, every orientation. It's just finding the best people. Yeah. And if you do show up and you're 100% white dudes at a job fair, you're probably missing out on some of you're missing out on the Christine Shangs. You're missing out on the Susan Stewarts. You're missing out on the
Ayanara. We met her at a career fair, or I think she was working
the
with
Lindas,
something.
Right?
Yes. Hey, and then you got to give it to our leaders. They put me and Karen at the gates.
I haven't looked at the clock until now, and there's only 6 minutes left, and we did 2 questions.
Yeah, Yeah, but they put us at the gates, and we're gonna be we take our job very seriously, where we want to make sure that we're giving everybody the opportunity to apply at RO, and we're really selective about the best of the best, regardless of anything else. But because we are, what did they say? Spreading, we're just spreading the message across the board. We're getting really good applications and great interest at all the career fairs. Everybody knows the word's out. RO is a great place to work. So, you can be selective and you have the best pool, really.
So I'm curious now, do you have a favorite position to hire for? Is there a particular job title whenever you see?
BDC, of course.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
You don't have to say that because Bruno's in here. Well, I guess Cesar's VDC as well. I was going to say, Cesar has all the power over there.
Cesar. Favorite position? No, I think we really do have like the best hiring managers, and so I always have like the best experience like working with everybody, and I'm lucky I get to work with everybody, get to know everybody here at this company, and then I get to know everybody that's coming in. I feel like I've like had a chance to really build some relationships with everybody. So no, I think every position that I filled is special to me in one way or another. Yeah,
it's endearing.
Yeah.
What do you like to do for fun, Linda?
Oh, I had to practice this one too, because it's like, wow, what don't I like to do? That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a big consumer of art and creativity. So like I love reading books. I love listening to ebooks. I like listening to podcasts. I love binge watching shows. But I think my absolute favorite thing to do is try new restaurants in Austin.
Ooh,
yes,
okay.
or wherever we go. My husband and I will go on trips because we love to travel too. And perfect example is Boston. We went to Boston, and 2 days straight we walked 11 miles, and one day we walked 12 miles. And it's literally just finding the next restaurant or the next pub.
Well, 11 miles, 12 miles. It sounds like you walked back and forth across the city about 10 times.
Yeah, we had to hit every restaurant and every pub.
Do you have a favorite kind of food that you prefer?
Seafood, for sure.
Seafood. Oh,
yeah.
you're in the right spot
Yes,
then.
I love seafood.
Did you get you some of that clam chowder?
In Boston, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And we had all the lobster rolls and all the oysters. But yeah, we have some good seafood places in Austin too.
Do we though?
Yeah, Perlas.
Where?
Let's go. We're going afterwards.
Okay,
We're going
so-
to Perlas. Yeah.
I'm supposed to pick my girlfriend up at the airport at 5:30, but I'd rather go have dinner.
Let's go
So,
together.
well, yeah, pick her up afterwards.
go
There's a
pick
bar
her
at the
up.
airport. She'll be okay.
Well, I haven't seen her in a while, so I'm sure she'll be excited to see
There we
me.
go. Yeah.
We're here to pick you up. We're going to get some dinner
Hey,
afterwards.
Don't threaten me with a good time, Linda. We'll make that happen.
But yeah, seafood
Pros,
and
okay.
but everything in Austin's delicious. There's so many great restrurants in Austin.
But it's a double-edged sword, though,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because I feel like I've been here since 07, 08.
Mhm.
I feel like I've been spoiled
Yes.
because I've gotten so used to the good food in Austin. Whenever I
Yes.
go somewhere else, like I was in New
No.
Orleans a couple months back. And they
That's the
have-
first city that came to my mind. Everybody talks about the
Their food
cuisine.
is so good, and it is. I
Mhm.
love New
Yeah,
Orleans
it's
food,
delicious. I'm like,
but it's also like it's good, but it's
Yeah.
not like I'm not.
Yep.
It's not like I'm coming from Texarkana
exactly.
to Louisiana. I was like, oh my god, I've never had food like this before. I'm like, yeah, this is good. It's like the
Yeah.
stuff I got up the road,
Yep.
over on Lamar, over on
Yeah,
Congress,
exactly. Yeah.
or up at the Domain or whatever.
Yeah.
So it is. It's so nice having that food, but at the same time, you go to somewhere else like Boston, you're
Yeah.
like, you're gonna have to really like do something to impress me
Yeah,
here.
you really do. You really do. But yeah, besides that, we really like music, so we try to go to as many concerts as we can. Quentin's been to 2 or 3 now since we started taking him after COVID. And
That's
yeah,
fun.
we have a kayak stand-up paddleboard, so we go do that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, you do all of it. You are the most Austin person I know, I think.
I asked Quentin though what mommy's favorite thing to do. I asked him all your questions, by the way. His favorite thing about
I saw his answers, by the
Yes.
way. I
Oh,
loved
did
them all.
you? I put him in there just for you. But yeah, he says he lives our road because we build cool buildings. Yeah.
He's not wrong. He's probably
No.
wandering around on West Campus
Yeah.
and checking out all those. You're like, there's some good stuff
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I
He
can
pays
see myself.
attention when we're driving. He's like, Aro, Aro.
Oh, how
Yeah.
adorable.
It's the best. Yeah.
That is so fantastic.
Yep.
I don't want to be done. We're gonna. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Someday.
Yeah, or just even spend more. You and I spend more time together because
Yes,
I'm
yes.
very interested in learning more from you. But before we cut the show here,
Yep.
if you had to give young Linda some advice, what would you tell her?
keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep going. Stay positive. You know, we were just talking about the economy is going to do what it's going to do. Things are going to happen, and one way or another, some way things work out. Yeah, you just got to keep moving forward.
Keep on keeping on, right?
Keep on.
I think that was
keeping
Joe
on.
Dirt, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think it was. The wise man once said, "Keep on keeping on."
Oh gosh, Linda, this might have been the fastest 45-minute show, I guess, that I've ever been involved with.
And I didn't embarrass anyone. Tamara was scared. Just kidding. Alan, who else didn't I embarrass?
It's not too late. You still have a couple of minutes if you want to embarrass someone. You're welcome to throw any dirt out there. I'll look off into the distance.
Oh, I thought Bruno was saying to say something about you. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, you
anything
can try.
About you.
I don't know. You'd have to be pretty brutal to embarrass me.
Everyone's great. We have the best time here, and we don't tell. We just don't tell. We don't embarrass each other.
Love it. Well, thank you, Linda. Thank you, everyone, for jumping on today. I know Bruno may mention it. We've got a lot of new gear out here, so I hope everything went well. We're still learning how to set it up. I was literally assembling cables an hour before we started so that we could get everything going. Yeah. But we're trying to make this better. We're constantly seeking to improve. No stream next week. Next week there's no stream. We'll be busy doing Connect stuff. Nice. So next week, July 19th, no stream. But then the 26th we come back, and we'll have Benjamin De Leon on from Dallas, a shop mechanic, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So I have him here, and we'll also be announcing the winners of the AI Powered Construction Challenge. So get your votes in on that. What? I can't even read that. Oh, 3. It's a 3 with an arrow. To any interns out there or anyone out there that's looking at potentially a new job, 3 things to consider. Don't do your resume in reverse chronological order. Do it in chronological order. Start with the most recent, work your way down. Yep. No photo. Don't put your photo on there. No. Make sure everyone's got an equal shot. We want people picking you just because you look good. And no snacks? No smack talk. That's what that was.
No smack talk. No, keep it positive, everybody. Keep it positive.
That's right. Yeah. All the time. You'll catch more flies with honey than with vinegar, something like that.
Oh man, I never know things.
Bees, honey, it's whatever, something like that. Be nice to people. Thank you all again for jumping on, and we'll be back on 26th. Yay. Thank you, Linda.